What is the intention when you are communicating with your partner? Right? We're moving now into communication. What is the core intention? How do you want your partner to feel? What is the message? What is the core thing that you want to transmit really when you're communicating? And the idea, the core idea, what I want to suggest to you is that what you really want is to have a connection with another human being. So there are certain things that you are going to do that are going to break the connection. One of them is being aggressive, being pressuring, demanding, approaching it from a place where we've got a problem, we've got something to solve. There is a certain pressure, a certain aggressive energy that is being projected in the field. And another approach, which is to simply relax in the space, make the person feel safe, make the person feel appreciated, make the other person feel loved, and so on. So which one of those two approaches do you think is going to open your partner? And obviously, making your partner feel safe is something that is going to allow them to relax and chill and be received and be appreciated and be loved. So very often what happens in relationships is that you feel something, you feel like there is a charge, right? There is an emotion rising inside of you, and you have a feeling that you have to project that into your partner. And this, most of the times, it's going to be a big mistake, because if you are under attack, right? Imagine that your partner comes with something that is an attack on your system. What are you going to do? You're not going to be like, oh yes, please give me more of that. No, most of the times you are going to get defensive and shut down. And the moment you shut down, or the moment your partner shuts down, then you enter into a field of dissonance. The resonance is broken, and then suddenly you are there, and there is tension being built up. So sometimes fights can be interesting. It can be an interesting experience to dive into. But most of the times, when you enter into confrontation, it's something that requires a big investment of time and energy, and be really there, present and ready to engage with two people who decide and want to do that together. If you are there just chilling and having a nice day, and you are being attacked by your partner, you are going to contract, you are going to retract, you are going to shut down, and eventually lock yourself in and establish a disconnection with your partner. So this is not something that you want to do. What you want when you're communicating with your partner is to establish a connection, a loving, caring connection. And this has a lot to do with the energy that you radiate. What is the energy that you are bringing to the table? And think about that before you start speaking next time. It's like that. You arrive in a connection with your partner. You want to decide and check in on your energy level and how you are feeling before you start talking, before you start engaging with your partner. So you are going to self-regulate. You are going to check in. Say, what is my energy state right now? And if you are triggered, and if you are, activated by something, and you feel like there is tension inside of you, that's probably not the right moment to voice something. If you have a request, if you have a demand, or you have something, it's very important not to have an emotional charge, not to have a projection being sent into the field of your partner. And you might say, well, this is just life, right? This is just the way things are. We are emotional beings, and we just communicate from those places. I say, that's great, that's a possibility. Now, what is the consequence when you communicate from that place? What happens when you come charged to your partner? Do you enjoy what's happening next? And if the answer is no, what I encourage you to do is check on other possibilities and other ways of communicating. And if you are the one who is being the target of the aggression, or the target of the insecurity, or the projections, or the judgment, or the aggressive energy, it is okay to give a boundary. It is okay to say, listen, like I have the feeling that right now there is a lot of charge coming into my field, and I'm not open to receive that right now. I have no desire to fight with you, and I have no desire to be exposed to this degree of attack or aggression. So you just check in, is this okay for me? No. If it's not okay, just ask them to pull back, or you go retreat, go to another space, another room, or simply withdraw yourself from the space. Another one might be, to navigate the thing, the what is going on with curiosity. For instance, if you are open to be exposed to that energy, you can be like, wow, it looks like you're really angry or really charged with me right now. Tell me more. What's happening? What's going on? What's underneath, right? So you are going to navigate with curiosity, right? So what I encourage you to do is simply to design these communication spaces with your partner in a way that are intentional. What do you really want to achieve? And what I can tell you is that most of the times what you want is to have connection, to have some form of degree of resonance. For instance, when you come and you have a charge and you are triggered by something, your intention most of the times is to be heard. You want your partner to hear you, right? If your partner is distracted and not listening to what you're saying, that's not going to work. And most of the times, if you come with an aggressive charge and he or she is not willing to receive that at that moment, then what you have to do is pause for a second, stop. Hey, I've got a big charge right now in my system. Are you open to receive what I have to say? Just check in first instead of just blasting out of nowhere. And you can mirror that. How does it feel when somebody comes into your field with aggressive energy and pressure and demand? Of course, it doesn't feel good. Most of the times, you are going to shut down. You are going to get into a triggered response, right? You are going to fight or flight. You are going to either fight back or completely shut down or close and or freeze, right? So that doesn't work. That doesn't work in establishing the connection. You might be, that's okay, I don't care, that's fine. Now, if you want to upgrade your communication, if you want to discover new ways of engaging to the relationship and really designing the space of your relationship in a way that is much, much more intentional, I encourage you to dive way, way deeper into all that and be way more intentional. And the reason why you might not be doing that right now, it's not because you were born with a certain way of communicating and that's it. No, everything that we're doing as human beings is conditioning, right? It's something that we learn. We learn those behaviors. We learn how to communicate in a certain way by imitating what we have seen around us. And nowadays in society, look at movies, look at drama, look at books, look at the way humankind is being portrayed, just fighting and arguing on things. That's just the way we communicate. There are many, traditions. Like, for instance, I come from a Swiss background, and in the French language, it's very common to just argue about things and just be in this state where there is conflict and there is tension rising. And in many countries and cultures, that's the way we communicate. And that's okay. There's beauty in that. Okay, I'm not saying that we have to shame all of that and suddenly we have to be all cleaned and cleared in the language. No, spontaneous, real language is important too. Now, when you're building really a relationship with somebody, a romantic connection with somebody, you want to keep that in check. And if you are talking and if you're speaking and you discover that what is happening right now is not something that brings you more pleasure or connection with your partner, I encourage you to pause. Just pause for a second. Watch what's happening internally. Watch the dynamics of what's happening, and you might just notice that what you are creating right now with your partner is not what you want. And so pause, stop, and be like, enter into a space of vulnerability. You can be like, listen, I just noticed that right now I feel a disconnection with you, and this is not what I want. Let me just take a break. I'm going to go out there, scream a little bit, shake, and I'll come back to you when I'm ready to communicate from a place which is more intentional, more grounded, more powerful. And I don't want you to feel the way you're feeling right now. I can see that I'm having a really very negative impact in your field, and I can see you retreating and shutting down and this is not what I want. So let me take a moment. I'm going to come back to you from a place of calm. I want you to feel safe when you're in my presence, right? Imagine when you hear that, or when you say that to your partner just drops their weapons. They don't shut down. They go like, wow, here is somebody who really understands me, somebody who cares for me, right? Okay, I encourage you to try that. And if you have any questions on that, of course, reach out, vitalcoaching.com, or on my Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can find me, Vital Coaching or Shiva Rajaya. Okay, love you. Take care and keep on rising with your couple. You have a beautiful relationship. It's time to upgrade, nurture it, do what you need to do to make it work.